Crazy weekend in the markets, everyone. Uh, was it didn't notice? I know, right? Pretty calm. Quick bounce, quicker than I thought. I don't think we're out of the woods just yet. But let's go over some of the technicals, or I guess not technicals. Let's go over some of the fundamentals on kind of what happened in the market. So, on an earnings perspective, all the Mag 7 stocks basically kind of tanked after their earnings, right? Almost everything hit all-time highs. We had Apple hitting all-time highs, Facebook hitting all-time highs, or Meta, I should say. Nvidia hitting all-time highs, right? Um, almost everything besides Tesla and the Magnificent Seven hitting all-time highs. And then after earnings, everything got beat up pretty bad, right? I know Amazon dropped like 8% after earnings. Um, Apple ended up falling with like a 4% drop. The whole market just after the last few big tech reportings dropped. And then we had this whole Japanese yen fiasco, um, which Fody has some more words on. Fody, what happened with the Japanese market? I got some juice on it, but I know you studied it a little bit more.
Yeah. So why did the stock market crash? Why did the Japanese stock market crash? So it's this thing called a carry trade. If you don't know what a carry trade, I'll tell you exactly what it is right now. And this is what happened. So Japan, notoriously, especially over the past 10 years, lended money at very cheap interest rates. We're talking like point 0.4 or super cheap compared to here. Hold on, they say they can't hear me. Make sure you guys have my volume
Oops.
turned up. Let me join back in real quick.
Cool. Stand by, folks. Stand by.
All right, can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah, there we
All
go.
right. Perfect. So, all right. So, anyways,
Walk
why
us through the
did
whole Japan thing off the top again.
I'll walk you through. Yeah. So, why did the stock markets crash? Why did our stock market crash? Why did the Japanese stock market crash? So, there's this thing called a carry trade uh, that that Japan does with us, and basically, Japan notoriously over the years, like 10 plus years, has loaned money at super low interest rates, like sub 1%. Um, so what the carry trade is people would borrow yen super cheaply and then convert it to the USD and buy stocks, US stocks with borrowed yen essentially. Now recently the Bank of Japan needs to stimulate its economy somehow, and they raise the interest rates on their money. So that triggered a global sell-off in the stocks, obviously, because you know a lot of these stocks were borrowed by cheap yen, and now yen was getting pricier. And and yeah, that's what happened. A global sell-off happened, uh, crashed the Japan stock market and crashed our stock market essentially, and that triggers a sell-off in other sectors, especially like crypto, like we just saw. And that's pretty much it.
It did have its worst sell-off, right? Like all the other people have been reporting. It did have its worst sell-off since Black Monday in 1987, but it also did have its biggest rally day the day right after since 2008, which was the financial crisis. So
Hmm.
worst day ever was followed by a huge reaction of the best day ever since 2008, which leads
Yeah.
me to my next question for you. Do you think this dip is over?
Um, No, I think like you said, I think there's a little bit more unwinding that's going on, that needs to happen with especially with the copy trading. It's all unwinding as we speak right now. People, I think what we're seeing in the market is just people still that are still euphoric from, the previous weeks and are eager to, get back in. And which worries me because, like, I feel like, this could be somewhat of a little bit of a dead cat bounce where people could just be buying into a falling knife at the moment. That's my personal thoughts. Who knows? And then, also with like current events going around the world, it's hard for me to find a reason uh why the economies should be good right now when you have like war, and the crazy inflation going on.
Elections.
Unemployment is not getting higher, which you need to happen for inflation to come down. The unemployment rate is kind of staying where it's at, um, and mass layoffs need to happen before we, become more stable.
Unemployment numbers just went up actually for
Oh,
the
did they?
yeah, yeah, it just went up.
By how much?
That I didn't look, but they did go up.
Well, that's the first step. If we need people spending less, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, but what's crazy though? I mean, also want to, also want to point this out why people would copy trade because it's a profitable it's a it was a profitable technique to make money, when you would borrow cheap money like that and then make a certain amount of profit. And then when you go to pay back the loan, which virtually had minimal interest, so you weren't paying crazy interest to the banks, and and yeah, you just keep the difference in that. And now that became super hard when Japan decided to raise the rates on that Bank of Japan. But yeah, I mean, speaking of this downfall, should we just segue into like what two meme coins are holding strong against this whole mess?
Might as well, yeah, right on.
Guys, Nero and Ginnon are defying all odds. It's truly mind blowing to me. I mean, I think the lowest I saw Nero go, and it was like super quick, probably like an hour. It stayed at that level, was like at 100 million market cap, and now it's basically it's hovering between 180 and 200. It hit an all time high today, nuts. Um, yeah. So what do we got? Nero, yeah, Nero
What was the
189.
all-time high today
I think it
for
smacked
Nero?
like 230 or something like that. Yeah. And oh my
And
God,
what'd
Ginnon's
you
at
call it
40.
out?
At Nero was called out at like Nero on ETH was called out at literally like 2.33 mil, and then Ginnon 43.4 mil. Arthur, I think we're smacking 50 later today. I don't know.
Well, let's look Jesus Christ, can't talk. Let's freaking hope so, dude. I was up 32. So guys, if you guys remember last live, I absolutely aped in to get in and then end up being up like 32 soul, and then it dipped back down and I was up I was actually minus 1 soul. So I just love holding the bag right now and getting. So I need this bad boy to pump up quite a bit.
Dude, Ginnon's the one. Ginnon is the one on Soul right now. And you know what? I know I made a recent call on Brainlit, and I mean, mm, you know, yeah, I was at 20, but like it's been fluctuating between this level and like 50. I saw it hit 15 today. That was
Yeah.
it's showing good resistance, but it just I mean as we're talking, it's kind of dive bombing, but it's such a solid meme, dude. It's such a solid iconic meme.
Did you mean good resistance or good support?
Good
It was
support.
showing good support. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
well, if it's dive bombing, good resistance ain't good.
Arrow at 0.69. Listen, I don't want to I don't want to say to buy anything right now because like who knows what's gonna happen the next couple of days. But obviously, you know what my coins are, guys. You know I'm Arrow, Nero, Gideon, Brett, Mog. Like these are all coins that should be on your radar, and you should be going into an industry that you're comfortable with. And don't overexpose yourself, and especially in these unstable times. But you
Nice.
know those are, in my opinion, the stronger meme coins. And Bobo. Yeah.
There we go.
So Art, talk to me, bro.
Yeah, I got my. Hold on, I'm about to share my screen with you guys.
Share it.
All right, guys, I got my screen popped up. Arrow, arrow, arrow. So, guys, is this dip over? I think is the question. Well, let's go over it. Let's go over the Mag 7 first, and then let's go over crypto. So this is the Mag 7 over here. Like I was saying earlier, just about everything kind of hit all-time highs before we saw this huge dip, right? Nvidia hit all-time highs, and then dipped all the way down to $92. And now it's testing the 89 EMA, right? So we've had this big movement down with no really any solid pumps back just yet, right? Apple, same thing, right? Gap down quickly. And Apple was more so a reaction of what the whole market was doing. Apple was actually trading just fine and then had this big dump right here, right? Oops, I thought that was it. Had this big dump right here. Tesla was the only Mag 7 lagging behind out of the bunch that wasn't trading near all-time high territory. This is all-time high territory here back on Tesla. Meta hit its all-time high, right? Same thing, dip back down, big spike, dip back down. Super volatile lately. But this volatility right here was from earnings that it just had on the 31st, where it gapped up and then just immediately got sold right off into, right? So all this volatility you see is one from an earnings call and then from the big market sell-off and then the big rebound that we had on the last 2 days. The same story for Microsoft, huge sell-off way back to lows again from April 2024, but it also hit all-time high. Google hit all-time high, right? Big sell-off, rebound right here, and then just dumped right back down. So but basically what I'm showing you guys is that everything has dipped in a sense where right now we could bounce, right? But that doesn't mean that we're necessarily out of the woods yet. Because when things continue lower to the downside, they eventually have to pump back up before they go lower, right? It's the same thing when we're going in an up market, right? And we're trading it in a bull market, we make a new high, we come back down, we make a higher low, we come back up, we make a higher high, higher low, higher high, right? This is the trend of a bull market. Well, vice versa, when we go down, the market doesn't just fall straight down like this, right? So sometimes it does, right? Sometimes it goes crazy fast like that. But eventually, even when it does fall down all the way like this, it needs to come back up before it goes down and makes a new low, comes back up and goes down and makes a new low. And that's the characteristics of the market, right? So reason why we could not be out of the woods just yet, right, is let's take Amazon for example. Us to bounce back up, right? That's totally normal. That brings liquidity back into the market, right? I think the stock market wiped away like $4 trillion in just 2 trading days. Friday was 2 trillion, Thursday was 2 trillion, something like that. So crazy sell off, right? And the market can pump back up to bring more liquidity to the market to get that dumb money kind of back into the market, right? Or it could just continue going up, right? But the point is to bring dumb money back into the market, get people thinking that that was the bottom, and then right here just dump it all once again, right? Just like how they kind of did it right here. Is once we broke the moving average trend, we came back up, and then we have that clear rejection right here off 34 EMA, and then things kind of dump down lower. So yes, we could see bounces in the meantime. In situations like this, it actually does create pretty good short to midterm trading opportunities. A lot of the opportunities that we can take are like trading Thanos strat on the 15 minutes and on the and like on the 1 hour hours right now, because we have when we have such big drops, it spreads the range of the moving averages quite a bit, and it gives you easy training wheels to trade the moving averages up, right? And I'll show you guys some good samples on the crypto market doing that. But back to what I was talking about, how the market moves, right? Is it doesn't just move straight up and it doesn't move straight down. So Amazon, for example, right, it could easily pump back up before the next low is made, right? You still have to kind of really gauge where the market is going right now. So there's not going to be crazy long-term tradings, but there's going to be some great short to midterm trades to be done. So Apple here as well, right? The same story. It could pump back up, reject, and come back down. The reason why this is what I'm talking about more is because it's because the probability is higher for us to go to the downside right now. Um, and it's not until we break through back here, support, hold the 34 EMA, and then go back up again until the trend is bullish. Right now, the trend is bearish, but there's still pumps to be had in a bearish market. So the trend again, right? The same thing that I'm talking about here. It's pretty much all around, and it's kind of what you're seeing on everything here, right? Microsoft, same thing as well. It's just been going down, 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 down. No real bounces. So yes, we could have another bounce before things get totally kind of broken, right? So you're seeing things dump back into old support levels. A level that I was talking to you guys a lot about Ethereum was, under 2740, 2840. That range kind of is a big death dump to it. And you guys can see once that range broke on ETH, it was a huge dump. It was a big historic level last bull run, 2020, 2021, big like macro level. Once that was lost, it was going to be a quick dump. Something else that I saw too was on Bitcoin, and I had been seeing it for the last couple of days. You guys know how much I personally and a lot of people in here like to trade the Morningstar or the Evening Star setups. When Bitcoin was below 60,800, 60,800, that was already like the mark of the evening star. When this candle closed even bigger than to this candle, then it was even stronger, and it was just Thanos moving averages to the downside, right? Trade down to the 50 MA, right? Things have to bounce before they go lower, right? Or things could definitely just bounce and continue going up higher, right? But at the moment, we still have to watch this bounce. Could be just a dead bounce, and we could just continue right back lower. But these are the moving averages to keep an eye out for. A lot of the Thanos setups, like I was saying, here's like Pepe. This was a setup that I've been watching. Perfect blast strat to Thanos. So if you guys know blast strat, you know the setup here. And then if you need more help with the price targets and support levels, then you use the Thanos strat, and that's what we have here, right? We break through the 89 EMA. The next target is the 144. Next target is the 200. But Trading up to the 144 on Pepe is going to be super highly probable, in my opinion. So you guys could probably scoop out about a 10% day trade here on Pepe, which is pretty solid if you ask me. A lot of these setups happening right now. You got this setup happening on Ondo, right, guys? Super easy. The probability of us trading to the 144 on all the 1 hours are crazy high probability. Sol, look, I already had this charted up for someone else. Sol, Thanos strat to the upside right now. Just trade the moving averages. The first thing that I think of when I see a huge drop like this, I'm like, perfect. Either I'm using my Bollinger Bands, which is a volatility strategy that the elite folks know. If I don't know the Bollinger Band strategy, then what I'm doing is I know when there's a big movement, these moving averages spread out. And I know before things go lower, we have to trade up before we go back down. So Thanos strat, when it sets up here, happens a lot of the time. It's basically happening on almost every strong coin. AVAX, that's the market cap. I clicked by accident, but same thing, like 1 hour on AVAX. See what the gaming coins are up to, right? Ape is setting up like that. Gala setting up like that. KDA setting up like that. Mana setting up like that. So everything has to kind of go back a little bit more before it does dump, if it does dump again. But these are the short-term trades that we could be doing right now. And yeah, your mic's muted on Discord. Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah, I have a question. Anyways, as far as Ape on a fundamentals perspective, what do you think of that token? I mean, I don't know if you've been following User Labs and like all the drama going on with them and everything, but I honestly don't see, um, you know, I don't know. Long term,
I mean,
I'm not very hopeful.
I mean, Eduardo just said Ape is dead. I mean, I agree. I was gonna say, like, has Ape made anything else new? I mean, has Yuga Labs made anything else new that helps that token? I think that token was just like a money grab, if you ask me.
I feel like it's not about making anything new. It's just how like spread thin they've made themselves right away, and the company's in shambles right now. I mean, it's gone through crazy restructuring. One of the founders is not present most of the time. He's very sick, and he's like one of the main guys. They
Hmm.
got rid of their CEO, and Garga took over. They for some reason acquired Moonbirds after that huge FUD with Moonbirds and like their founder Kevin Rose rugging them basically this and that.
Yep.
And then they brought Kevin Rose on as an advisor into Yuga Labs. But as far as like, yeah, all gaming is down bad to be honest.
Yeah.
Um,
I
dude,
got some commentary on that. So I mean, we got two people asking two different things. Big time opinion and game is not the meta right now. So mixed opinions on that. So big time, at least they're making a game, right? At least they have the land going. It's way better than, dude. What happened to other side with Bored Apes? What, dude? I paid 2 ETH in gas fees, bro. Where's that game
yeah,
at? It's trash.
dude, it's yeah. I mean, I think people thought it was gonna be like a massive multiplayer online where like
Yeah.
all these different NFT projects and Web3 universes connect with each other or whatever, like this huge open area, and it just was not that. Now they're going back to the drawing board in it, I guess, and they're going to try to improve it. But like, I don't know, man. So many years have passed; it's kind of left a really sour taste in everybody's mouth. I mean, I still have my land and stuff, but like, I've chucked that one up as a loss. As far as
Yeah.
Big Time already has a game. The
Yeah.
game is already out. It's fully playable. The only thing is, it's not fun. The game
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
you
hold
know,
on, hold on. before we move on, and then back to those points. So yeah, big time. They have a game. They are probably one of the better ones, right? Probably right behind Gala. But to touch on what Alien was saying, gaming is not the meta right now. I gotta agree, guys. Why do we need to move our games back like 10 to 20 years right now? Because all the blockchain games are terrible. And
Yeah.
what is the purpose of blockchain gaming? Like, there's no reason for that technology right now. Like, that could come way down the road. Everyone's fine. Like, people are even okay with buying like in-game assets with crypto. People would rather do that, but what is the point of making a game on the blockchain? Why are we going back 20 to 30 years on gaming when we should be focusing on VR and making way better hardware like that? And then when blockchain gaming comes down the road, then it comes down the road, but it's not really needed right now.
You know, let me touch on that. I think when it and this kind of like caters to like microtransactions and like you know uh owning stuff in the game that the game doesn't necessarily own because right now um right now the only thing that quote unquote NFT pieces in the video game or you know like I said microtransactions the only thing that benefits is huge role playing games, massive multiplayer online games. Example, um, example, World of Warcraft, where your character, is your character throughout all those years, and there's just expansions coming. If it's a game like a shooter, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, whatever, when these games are coming out every year and every other year, you know, I need to own something specifically that game. And another thing is too, it's like it's not like we have AAA studios diving their feet into this yet because they've been making games for so long and that's their business model is in the web 2 world. That's something that they do good and they know how to do it well.
Yeah, see, Gala though,
In
Alien just said, oh,
I'm sorry, what
yeah,
was
my bad.
that?
I don't know if you were saying. No, I was saying so. Alien made another comment. Gala banking on. Yeah, Fody, your audio was going in and out for a bit. I didn't know if that was my lag or what. Looks like a few people heard it too. Still banking on Gala going to
I think
all
I'm
time
having
high
network
though.
issues.
Yeah. Still banking on Gala going to all-time high. See, well, that's where Gala's also kind of a bit different, right? You guys know we had Bitbender on the Gala Live, right? Who was the president. Uh, they also do so much for the ecosystem that's not really talked about, right? A lot of the transactions go through their nodes. A lot of the transactions on the ETH network itself go through their nodes. So Gala itself I where I think their strength is their foundation really and what they have for the ecosystem, not really the gaming. So yeah, I do still think Gala has huge growth potential in the ecosystem, and you guys know it's definitely one of my top coins, especially for the gaming sector. Fody, did you freeze up? Oh, dang, yeah, Fody's Wi-Fi cut out. That's weird. We're in the same house. We're just in different rooms. Huh. All right. Who's if you guys want to drop down in the chat real quick, who's writing these meme coins with us? So not maybe right now. Do we see a comeback on big time? Deeper in the cycle on big time. Yeah, I do think we see a pump on big time um, deeper. We could obviously, like I was saying, we can see a small pump right now, probably to the 89 EMA and then to the 144 EMA. But deeper into the cycle, yeah, do still I do still keep it as one of my top coins for the gaming industry, 100%. As far as that sector goes, I'd keep it Gala, I keep it Big Time, um, I keep it Axie Infinity because of the partnerships with Gala, and then Sand and Mana just because they're OGs. I think all these other ones, honestly, it's kind of going to be tough for them. Immutable X, IMX is okay. You know, their wallet, but everything that they have is just pretty shitty. You know, not to sound kind of like a dick, but they don't bring anything nice to the table. YGG went kind of ghost. Nothing really going on for them. They kind of died out. Sand and Mana are just the OG ones when it comes to gaming. Not gonna lie, dude, we really did, dude. We rode big time perfectly. That honestly, big time trade reminded me of the first time we traded Gala from like I want to say like 4 cents to 84 cents, basically to the all time high. Whatever the all time high on Gala was, we traded to the all time high. We traded big time to the all time high. That was awesome. And we traded ship to the all time high this year, like to the T, like 0.00044 to the T before it just got wrecked. Those are some pretty epic trades. Blast off starting rocky, 2 losses, right? You know, we're down 20%, or depending when you closed out your trade on CFX, you're down anywhere from about, 14 to 20%. Let's see what the market goes. We'll probably attack some 4-hour trades now. Now that we're not going to the upside, we'll watch any of these dips coming up. I'm sorry, any of these pumps coming up to see if they end up being I guess like the last of it, right? We could very much well, this could have been the dip and it's over. It could have been that fast because things did drop 20, 30%. Some coins dropped like 40%. All the biggest stocks dropped 10 to 30%. That could be just enough what they needed to be a pullback. A normal correction in the market is actually 10% all around. So, the game plan going forward is, of course, DCA, DCA, DCA. Amazing opportunities to DCA last week, guys. Last week during the drop in the stock market, over the weekend for the crypto market, amazing time to DCA, right? Those are the times where you're like, okay, hey, I'm throwing $100 a week in Bitcoin and Ethereum. You know what? This week with what's going on, I got to put 200 in or 300 in, right? Really use these opportunities in the market right now to get those bigger bags that you really wanted. And if it dips again, make sure to have enough firepower to buy those dips. And if it doesn't dip again, at least you put in a little bit of extra because the goal is to buy on all of these drops. And ETH is still a steal right now. If you ask me, these ETH prices are cheap. When I saw it go down 2,100, I'm like, that's actually really fucking cheap for Ethereum. All the way down to 2,100. Ugh.
Dude. So
Dude, you got to get a new computer.
it literally blew up.
Oh, we got a mosquito in here from the door. Uh-oh. I thought I was done with the mosquitoes when I left Italy.
Wait, is the
Actually,
thing
no,
over?
No. All right, you guys, check out the picture I just put in the chat of ETH. Like, look at that, just fat drop. As a big drop. This very well could have been over and just bought up, and here we are already the bottom's in. But I think we do still see some more volatility. We got to see some more. We got to see some more accumulation. You know, so if you guys are still watching my screen, what we got to see is a little bit more of this accumulation, more buying up in here before we have one more little smackdown ski. Hold this 2100 level, right? That would be the best way to trade it, right? That's how smart money is probably the best way to trade it. Would it be to continue building here, building here, building here? Or if they really just want to rug it, like why not, take a bounce back up and drop it even lower, right? We talk about, guys, for the people that have been a few lives, how many times have we talked about when old support is the new resistance, we go lower, right? So right now, that's kind of what we're seeing, right? Is this was support on Ethereum, this was support, this was support, this was support, and now support finally broke, right? Well, what happens is that a test usually has to happen again. So now that the old support is broken, right, it just directly fell back into the support area. So if they retest it again, right, so this is the old support now. If old support becomes the new resistance, right, this used to be support, 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 support. If it becomes resistance, then we go right back down to these lows. So what I do think will happen is we come back in here to test right here, and then that's going to be kind of like the moment of truth right here is what happens over here. That's the truth moment. So that's going to be really where the market is going to tell us what it does. It comes back here, right? Get some more accumulation for people, and then it bounces maybe again, right? We have a triple bottom here, I guess, or quadruple bottom, whatever you want to call it. But this support level is holding, and the market goes back up, or we fall back down lower into some lower levels, like right here. And then really the next area. See, drawing lines are fun, guys. Yeah, it's, those are my thoughts on ETH and the market. What else we got going on?
Oh,
Right back under 41 on getting.
I kind of want to. I was gonna mention something. Everyone can hear me, right? Okay. So who remembers Jupiter?
Got him.
I think you guys need to put this on your radar. But Jupiter.ag. I mean the Jupiter coin JUP. It looks
What?
Jupe.
I know, but what did it get? You said you got something.
No. I believe the founders agreed to burn 30% of their supply of the token, or 30% of the supply, which was like their allocation. So they agreed to burn that, and I think that's pretty big. I mean, the all-time high in that token was $1.80. And that's not a meme coin, guys. That's actually a good token in the Solana ecosystem. You can compare it to Uniswap's token, but on Solana with Jupiter. And
You know where that story sounds a little familiar? Sure. That's what One World Token did. Sam Altman's crypto coin, right? They said that they weren't going to burn, but they were going to lock up their basically their coin allocation for like 3 more years. It caused a huge dump, but now they're back to even lower. I mean, caused a huge pump, but now they're even lower than they were before. But a burn. Yeah, go ahead.
But Jupiter actually helps the Solana ecosystem, and it's like it's a main tool for that whole Solana ecosystem. I mean, I'd be damned if that.
You're getting roasted in the chat right now, bro.
Who's roasting me?
Ravish just roasted you.
Is my thing? Is it messing up?
No, dude, you gotta ditch the beats and just get AirPods, bro. Like, what are you doing? Just have him walk into the room.
I'm gonna lose my. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind. Bro, it's hot. It's fucking hot in here. The Netherlands doesn't have AC anywhere. My computer's blowing up. These goddamn beats.
Dude, we gotta upgrade you a computer, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna throw him over the freaking canal. It's Crimea Canal over here. Oh. I know, right? What a hard life. Oh no, you're in the Netherlands with your bestie.
Got mosquitoes flying everywhere.
Business class sucks to be you, dude. I'm just gonna take off the AirPods.
I'm coming over there, dude.